Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. It means so much. For today's video, I'm going to be deep cleaning the kitchen. This is day one of me prepping our home for our staycation. My husband and I are going to be celebrating 12 years of marriage this Sunday on April 11th, and so this entire week I've spent every day prepping our house for our staycation. So this is just the first part of several videos that I'm going to put out for you, and I'm going to put it under the playlist Staycation. That way, if you're wanting to plan a staycation and you don't know where to begin, hopefully throughout these different videos that I'm going to be uploading to my channel, I'll be able to give you plenty of ideas. So without further ado, let's just get right into the video. Alright, so the first space that I would recommend for you to tackle is your kitchen, as I'm doing here, and give yourself a week to prepare your house for your staycation, and then give yourself about a month to really plan it and talk about what you want to do, if there are any big projects you want to tackle in your home for your staycation to make it more enjoyable for you. But yes, the first thing that I'm doing is the dishes. I do that anyways whenever I go to deep clean my kitchen. I like to collect all of the dishes from around the house. I like to put any clean dishes away, wash any dirty dishes, load the dishwasher, and that is the first thing I do. And then I like to go around the kitchen and I just tidy everything up. So it was great because our kitchen was kind of a mess. So this is a great before and after video for you. But yes, I'm just putting everything that's out on the counters back in their proper places. And the next thing that I'm having my husband help me with is putting the legs back onto our dining room table. This was one of the projects that I wanted to complete for our staycation. Our dining room table legs used to be white, and the top of our table had a lot of scuffs on it from just wear and tear over the years. And so I spent last week and it took me about a week to sand these legs and the tabletop. It was just a longer process, and I had other things going on as well, so I gave myself a week to do this, and basically I just sanded it down to the bare wood, and then at the end of this video I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of matte poly on the legs, and I'm going to do 4 coats of matte poly on the tabletop. And now that that's done, the first space in my kitchen that I'm really going to declutter and reorganize is the pantry space. So I work at the top half of the pantry first, and I take everything out of that and I kind of go through it and I see what is old, what needs to be thrown away, and I replenish my containers with any food from the bottom half of my pantry. And this large basket right here is for my bulk food items, and that's something that I would recommend for you to do, is get a large basket for your pantry and house all of your bulk food items in it. I find that to be very helpful for me when I'm going to look for the bulk food items. And then I just wiped all of the shelves down and I reorganized my containers back into the top half of the pantry. And the reason that I'm doing this for our staycation prep is because I just want our pantry to be clean, organized. I feel like that will make cooking during our staycation so much more enjoyable, and I'm going to be doing the same thing with the bottom half of the pantry. I basically just empty everything out onto the island in sections, and I go through everything, deciding what's old, what needs to be thrown away, and I also made a list as I was doing this of any items that I need to replenish in my pantry. And then I went ahead and I sprayed my pantry with my homemade all-purpose spray. Now, eventually I do want to get all wicker baskets for my pantry, but for now I just have these white baskets. And basically what I do throughout my home is I slowly buy organizing bins. So 1 month I may take 2 of those white baskets out and replace them with 2 wicker baskets. We're on a smaller income because my husband's the only one that works, so we kind of have to just save cash for things and buy things slowly. We don't like to put things on, credit card debt or anything like that. So this is just how we choose to live, but I actually like it because it's nice not just being able to buy everything you want all at once, having to save for it. It makes you appreciate it a lot more. And so this is all of the food that was in the bottom half of the pantry that I went through. Now I do want to show you this bottle of wine. It's by the brand name Josh, and it's a Cabernet Sauvignon. They have a lot of different types of wine. This is one of the most smoothest wines. I love it so much. I will link the name down below for you. I purchased some of these bottles for us to have on our staycation, and that's something that I would recommend if you're planning a staycation and you do enjoy to drink a glass of wine or like a mojito for a special occasion with your significant other. Then I would say to think about what kind of drinks you would like and go ahead and buy the ingredients you need for those for your staycation. And I have all these teas here in my pantry. I am going to be purchasing some tea organizing boxes specifically for my pantry. I have a wooden one that I keep in my cabinet, but I would like to have some clear ones. I will link them down below for you if you're wanting some good tea organizing boxes. Now that the pantry is done, I'm going to be doing the same thing to the refrigerator and the freezer. So I'm basically going to empty everything out of the fridge, most everything anyways. I'm not going to be emptying out these huge packages of meat. We were able to get a ton of ribeyes from Kroger, and I think I bought them on Sunday, and my husband, he package sealed them on Thursday, and today was Monday, so I just left them in the fridge. They were on sale, and so this is what we're going to be eating during the week on our staycation, because we are on the ketogenic diet and we don't really want to come off of keto just for our staycation because we just feel so good eating that way. So I was like, let's just eat a bunch of meat. And I'll show you at the end of this video some of the other stuff that we purchased from Costco to go along with our meat, because we're not going to just eat meat all week. That would be a carnivore diet, and we're on the keto diet. But I'm going to just set all of these packages of meat on the bottom shelf of the fridge, and then I did go ahead and I left the half and half in that little clear container that I purchased for my half and half, and I purchased that from Target. I will try to find it and link it down below for you. And then I keep our sparkling waters in that soda container, and I purchased that from Target, and I really like that one because it comes with a lid, and I will link that down below for you as well. And one of the things that I purchased for our staycation were sparkling waters. I purchased about 4 cases of them, and so I'm just stocking up our fridge with them so we can already have them chilled. We like to drink these, with our meals, but I also purchased a mint plant that I planted in our backyard for us to have mojitos during our staycation. One of the things we did for our big projects was a huge outdoor makeover, so that way we could spend a lot of time outside, and that is a video that I am going to be uploading with these within the staycation playlist. So you'll definitely have to go watch that after you watch this video. But yeah, basically I just organized everything back into the fridge. And I also, like I said, I made a list of, things that we'll need for our staycation as I was doing this, and things we need to replenish on, like different sauces and things like that. And then I did put on the right side there in the door a couple of jars of water. That way we can have chilled water if we want on our staycation. And then I basically did that same thing with the freezer. I emptied everything out, and as I was going through everything that was in the freezer when it was out on my counter, I left my freezer open. That way it kind of like some of the ice that was stuck to it can kind of thaw a little bit to make it easier when I go to wipe it all out and really get it nice and clean in there. And I have these reusable Ziploc bags, and so if I had like a huge bag of blueberries that I purchased from Costco and there was only like a quarter of it left in the bag, I went ahead and I put those into the reusable Ziploc bags, and then I put all of those on the top shelf. And I will link these bags down below, and that's just a great option instead of like keeping these huge bags that only have a little bit of food left in them in your freezer to take up more space. You can house them like you see here in these reusable bags, and they're clear so you can see what's in them. And I just love being able to have a totally organized fridge and freezer going into our staycation. It just gives me a peace of mind, and it makes the space feel more vacation-like, I guess. And now it is the end of the day, and I was pretty tired by this point in time. I was actually babysitting my friend's baby all day this day. He actually spent the night too. He's so sweet. So I didn't get as much done as I wanted to this day, but it was so worth it. Sometimes you have to put things within your home on hold because people are just so much more important, and even though he was a little baby, he's still just as important as a grown-up, so I had so much fun with him. But yes, first thing in the morning before he woke up, I went ahead and I put another coat of matte poly on the table, and then I removed the chairs because I am going to be scrubbing those down really well. I purchased those with a table that I'm putting in our living room, and eventually I want to sand these chairs down to the raw wood, but that's going to be like a summer project. So for now I'm going to just really clean them really well. And one thing that I did do was I made some homemade cold brew for us to have throughout the week as we're prepping for our staycation. You want to make sure you have plenty of energy while you're prepping everything, but I'm also going to make some cold brew for us to have during our staycation as well, and I will link the video down below for you that I made showing you how to make your own homemade cold brew. It's just a lot more cost effective, and I love it. Homemade cold brew is just so yummy. I've been making it for me and my father-in-law. My in-laws live with us, and so I've been spoiling him with some homemade cold brew, but he spoils us. It is such a blessing having them live with us. They help so much around the house, and they're just awesome. I love them. But yes, so the next thing that I'm doing is deep cleaning the windows. For me, I just try to think of what I love when I go on vacation, and I love when the space is clean. Like, it doesn't have to be updated, it doesn't have to be super nice, but if it's really clean, like if I look down and the baseboards are cleaned and the kitchen cabinets are clean and organized, which I feel like rarely happens, but when it is like that, it's so nice. And if it's not like that, I am that person that will spend the first 3 hours cleaning the place we're staying at. Just because it helps me to be able to relax knowing everything is clean. So I deep cleaned the windows, and I also wiped down the baseboards in the kitchen, and I'm gonna just sweep this space. And this is the one space that I did mop. I am gonna wait until Saturday, the day before our staycation, to sweep and mop the remainder of the house. That way the floors are just totally clean for our staycation. And the next thing I did was I just filled up a bucket with warm water, and I added Murphy's oil soap to it, and I just wiped these chairs down really well. I love these chairs. They are solid wood. They're super heavy. They're so beautiful. I was able to purchase 6 of these chairs. 2 of them have armrests, and those are in the living room, and a table for $500, which is an incredible deal because it's solid wood, and these will last us like through the apocalypse. They'll last forever. And then the next thing I did was I went through all of the cabinets and drawers throughout my kitchen, and I reorganized everything. Just so that way when we go to open up the cabinets during our staycation, it's like, we could just totally relax because everything is all organized. Now, some of these drawers were already organized because I do try to keep up with the organization and the cleaning in my kitchen on a weekly basis, just because I spend so much time in here and we host so much. If I just let it go, I feel like it would just be a big hole that I wouldn't be able to climb out of. And I also went ahead and I organized underneath our sink, which is great. I'm so happy I was able to do this. And I replenished all of our cleaning bottles. I make a lot of my own homemade cleaning products. I've been switching over to zero waste products for several years. I just do it really slowly. And I went ahead and I filled up these bottles. That way if we need to clean anything up really quick, we've got a good storage of cleaning products. And that's one thing I would recommend as you're cleaning your house and getting it ready for your staycation. Make a list of anything you would want to purchase, like cleaning products. If you want to just get some Lysol wipes to make cleanup easy, do that. Some candles, whatever would make your staycation more enjoyable for you. Things that you probably don't purchase all the time, but that would be kind of a treat to have during your staycation. And then once my island was all organized, I went ahead and I sprayed it with my all-purpose spray, and then I took a Brillo pad, I think that's what it's called, with some soap, and I scrubbed it all really well, and then I wiped it down, as you see me doing here. And then I wiped down the cabinet doors and the drawers. These get so dirty, so I wanted everything to be totally clean. And it was actually nice being able to do this on Monday and Tuesday because it made everything go so much smoother throughout the week just having a clean kitchen. And then I went ahead and I scrubbed my sink and I did spray bleach in it. I feel like bleach is the only thing that gets this sink clean. I've tried so many other cleaners, but these white sinks, they just get dirty so easy. And I filled up my tea kettle with water and I boiled it. I do this about twice a week. I will fill up an entire tea kettle, I'll get it boiling, and then I'll pour it all down my sink just to make sure that my sink drains stay nice and clean. I like to do little things like that throughout my home over the course of a week or a month. Just like little upkeep, you know, because my husband works so hard for the things we have and I just want to, you know, take care of it as best as I can. And then I went ahead and I set out some of our eggs from our chickens on the counter because I thought that would just be a super cute touch. Like, what's better than farm fresh eggs when you're on vacation? So, and because we have chickens that lay eggs, we're able to leave the eggs out on the counter. You can leave them out for up to a year. So yes, if you're wondering, why did she put those out? Those need to go in the fridge. And yeah, and then I just moved to the other side of the kitchen and I organized all of those cabinets and drawers. Now, I will link these bamboo drawer organizers down below for you. I purchased those a few months ago and they are a game changer. Not only are they beautiful, but they help kind of keep a good system going with all of those smaller kitchen gadgets in my kitchen. And it's just so nice having an organized kitchen. Like I said, when we go to cook our meals, it's gonna just make cooking so much more pleasant and so much easier. So if you have time to do this, great. If not, don't worry about it, girl. Now, I do want to show you something really quick. My neighbor, who is also my good friend, purchased this super cute egg apron for me for when I go to gather my chicken eggs. So I'm definitely leaving that out for our staycation. I just feel like that is the cutest thing ever. I will try to find one on Amazon and link it down below for any of you chicken moms out there. And as I was tidying up the kitchen, this desk area here in the corner kind of became a little catch-all station, so I had to re-tidy that up. And basically what I keep in this little section is our tea kettle and our coffee mugs, just an overflow of our coffee mugs. We had that whole cabinet that you saw. And basically all I did was I set out the remainder of the sparkling waters that I purchased for our staycation on this desk here. That way, whenever I need to replenish the fridge, I can go ahead and do that. And I also purchased some Italian sparkling waters as well, the kind that come in the glass jars. Those are so delicious. And then I went ahead and I purchased some paper plates for us. I really try to avoid using paper products as much as possible, but I asked my husband, I said, do you think I should get some paper products for our staycation? That way, that's like one less thing we have to worry about to wash. Because, you know, we're trying to really relax and pamper ourselves. And he said, yes, get paper plates. And since I don't purchase them or use them a lot, it was kind of a treat. So I went ahead and I set those in my caddy, just out on the counter there. And that's kind of how I set up that little desk area. And then one thing my husband and I did about a month ago was we went to Bath and Body Works and we purchased these really pretty hand soaps and body scrubs and just different things for us to have as a treat throughout our staycation. So I'm really excited about that. And on Thursday, we went to Costco and we purchased some beautiful flowers. If you have a Costco membership, I would highly recommend to go there for your flowers. We purchased a beautiful bouquet of orange flowers, orange roses, and then some fillers, and then another bouquet, just like a spring bouquet. So I was able to put flowers throughout the house for our staycation, and that just makes it feel more luxurious and spa-like. And the last thing I'm going to show you are the items that we got from Costco for our staycation, just to give you some yummy food ideas. One of the things I got were these sun-dried tomatoes. We're going to make homemade pizza one night for our staycation, and we just thought that would be super yummy on the pizza. And I also picked up these olives. One thing I just found out was that olives are actually really good for you on keto. And I mean, you have to make sure you buy olives with clean ingredients in them as far as what the olives are actually setting in. But yeah, I purchased a big jar of those for us because we're going to be doing like a large charcuterie board one night. And so I purchased some cheeses for us to have for the charcuterie board, and then we'll have the olives and the sun-dried tomatoes. So I tried to buy things that we can have with more than just one meal. And then another night, we're going to do lettuce wraps. So I'm going to do some ground beef with some taco seasoning and do the lettuce wraps. And then we'll probably make some homemade guacamole. I bought a ton of avocados from Costco. And then I also bought some low-carb tortillas that we're going to cut into actual like tortilla chips and bake, and we'll have those with, I got some nacho cheese, some queso from Costco, so we'll have like a whole Mexican night and it'll be super yummy. And instead of taco shells, you know, I just bought the butter lettuce or the Boston leaf lettuce, whatever that was called. And then I also purchased some mozzarella. Oh, mozzarella is so delicious. We're gonna buy some big tomatoes, some big heirloom tomatoes and some basil, and we bought some balsamic vinegar, and we're gonna do like, you know, caprese salad one night. And then I bought this Burson cheese, which is super expensive, but I have some keto crackers for us so we can add that to our charcuterie board one night, and that was just like a nice little treat. I also bought some goat cheese for myself because I love goat cheese. I might put some of that on the pizza. And then we bought this really big package of cold meat to put for our charcuterie board night. We'll probably be able to have charcuterie board for like 2 or 3 nights, which is going to be really nice. And then they had a pack of 6 bell peppers of different colors for a really great price. I forget exactly what they were, but I think it ended up being about $1 a bell pepper, maybe. So we're gonna probably cut those up and grill them and put those on our pizza. And then I got these blueberries for if we ever want to do like parfait, or we've got some keto cereal that we can have in the morning if we want. And I am going to do some stuffed mushrooms for my husband. And if you think about it, please pray for my husband for total healing, because he still has not gotten his scent back from when he got COVID last year. Now he's been doing some research and we've been doing some natural things to kind of help it out. And if you have any tips, please leave them down below. But please say a prayer for my husband that for our staycation, his scent will come back. And then I bought some zucchini and some squash that I'm going to cut in half and de-seed and fill oil with the ground beef that I'm going to do taco seasoning with, and we'll pour some queso on top of that for another meal idea for our staycation. And then one thing growing up that we would do with my dad is we would go snorkeling, and we would get like lobster and octopus and different things like that from the bay, and we would make chiapino. Now we made it homemade, but you know, my dad lives in San Diego, we live in Georgia, so when I saw this I thought, you know what, we're not gonna go snorkeling and do all that fancy stuff on our staycation. We'll just buy this, and it won't taste the same as my dad's, but it'll be pretty close. So that was just a little treat that we got for ourselves to have as a little, you know, appetizer one night. And then I purchased a ton of limes because like I said, we are going to be making mojitos. I've got my mint that I planted in the backyard, so super excited about that. Oh, and these are the sparkling waters that I purchased. Key lime is like currently my favorite flavor of LaCroix right now. They are so yummy. And then if you are on keto, Costco actually has these keto ice cream bars. They're only 2 grams of net carb per bar, and they are so delicious and refreshing. And whenever my husband and I are working around the house, we'll stop and take a break and eat one of these, and it gives us so much energy and it really refreshes us. So that's just a little tip. But yes, that is everything. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and make sure that you go check out the rest of the videos for how to plan a staycation. I will link them in the description box below for you. And until next time, love you guys so much. Bye.